Turkish F-16s took off in the early morning hours on Friday, bombing for the first time what Ankara says were ISIS targets in neighboring Syria. On their mission, the warplanes never left Turkish airspace, the prime minister later said at a press conference. The targets were hit without going into Syrian airspace, he said. If there was a need, we would have gone into Syrian airspace as well. Also on Friday, Turkey launched a massive anti-terror operation involving thousands of policemen spanning 16 provinces in the country and rounding up hundreds of people. The government says the operation was aimed at ISIS, but also at militants from the Kurdish Workers' Party, PKK. Our state will take all of the necessary steps against these terrorist organizations, President Erdogan said. This is a commitment. The moves could be a sign that Turkey is getting tougher on ISIS, which sits just across the border in Syria. On Thursday, a Turkish soldier was killed in a cross-border exchange of gunfire with militants. And on Monday, 32 people died in what the Turkish government claims was an ISIS suicide bombing of an event in Zurich, also in the border area with Syria. That attack led to violent protests in Istanbul and other cities, as many felt their government wasn't doing enough to combat the ISIS threat. A NATO ally bordering both Syria and Iraq, the U.S. is keen to launch airstrikes against ISIS from air bases in Turkey. That could soon happen, Turkey's president saying bases like the one in Incirlik could be used by coalition planes, quote, under a certain framework, even though the Turks say those discussions have nothing to do with the new crackdown. Of course, all allied countries have been informed of all the actions, the prime minister said, but this is a decision made on the basis of national security and has nothing to do with the opening of Incirlik and the negotiations along those issues. In the face of a growing ISIS threat, Turkey is ramping up its military response. Still, the government says it will not allow itself to be dragged into the Syrian civil war.